Hello, my name is Scott Ulrich, and I am so blessed and honored to be your district superintendent. This is just a weekly update from our district office as we move into this great Lenten season. I just wanted to touch base with you all and just be connected again as we try to do these each week, just try to keep you in tune, laity and clergy together. One of the things I want to begin with is usually in our meetings, what I encourage all clergy to do in all meetings is do loving, learning, and leading, in which to spend time loving each other, learning about something new, and then how we're going to go out and do that in the community that God has placed us in. And so today I want to just come from James. I want to just mention James briefly. He says these words in chapter 1, "Do not be deceived, my beloved." Now, I'm reading that because being deceived means being deceived ourselves in our own hearts. And sometimes in the time of the society, we like to think that others are deceiving us, but what he's really talking about are the truths in our own hearts and those growing places that you as clergy and you and laity, that we together need to, in fact, understand ourselves so that we're not deceived. And so I want you to just think about these things. Can you honestly speak to God about those growing places that God could change your life? Are you willing to let God take you just where you are to help you become deeper and richer in that love? And so that's part of the loving time I want to bring with you, is that you can know that God can deal with whatever is on your heart, in your soul. And so pastors, as we move to this Lenten season, this is a time of reflection. For laity, it's a time of deep reflection as well. Together, we ask where God can change those places, those growing edges in our own hearts, so that we will not be deceived. And so I want to just highlight this with some of the glory sightings that I've seen in the district this week. And they've been many, but these are just a few I'm going to bring to your attention. First of all, 2,700 youth came to Auckland Hotel for Warmth and Winter, and they had fun, and they laughed, and they probably did goofy things that teenagers do. But what they also did was experience the richness of God in the midst, and it was something that was awesome. To get 2,700 young people to come together to worship God, in my opinion, is one of the greatest things that can happen, and that's a glory sighting. Another glory sighting is that we experienced this week is the cabinet met together. That's the district superintendents and the bishop, where we talked about the pastors and the churches, and we were just surprised and amazed at those amazing pastors and laity in our midst who are so filled with God's Spirit. And sometimes we forget to say that, and sometimes I forget to say it, but man, do we have some great people of God working in this district. The last thing I just want to bring up is a glory sighting, which is not the end of glory sightings, but it's just another one, is that the orientation of ministry happened this Saturday, and it happened in Murfreesboro. And that's where people who are being called into ministry, clarifying their call, trying to understand what God is doing in their life, be it lay or clergy or deacon or elder or whatever route, it took place. It was something to see people still giving their life completely and fully to God. And I just want to uplift that. I also want to take this time for you to think about where God has been showing God's glory in your church, in your life, and in your family. And so, as we love together, as we learn together, we also lead together. And so some of the highlights, just the business portions I want to put to you this week, are things of this. Your consultation forms, just remind you, they're still due. I have not received those all. For those churches and clergy that have asked for a special meeting about what their appointment might look like or the changes that might take place, I'll be scheduling those appointments with the staff parish committees. And so I want to keep that on your radar. If you get a call, we try to set that up with you guys. Also, I want to just remind you that on February 24th, Feed the Need is taking place. And that's what we're trying to feed 285,000 people in our district. And this is one of the things that we're trying to do. And I mentioned to you last week that wouldn't it be great that we could feed anybody that's hungry. The church is called to feed people, not just their physical needs, which we're called, but also we're called to feed their spiritual needs. And I believe people are hungry for Jesus Christ in a Methodist Wesleyan way. And I just think that we need to uplift that to our people. Be proud of who we are. Also, 40 days of prayer starting tomorrow. Lent, 40 days of prayer, which we're praying together. Now, Lent is a somber time. It's not somber because of who God is and what God has done for us, but it's a time for us to reflect and be appreciative and humbled by what God has done for us. And so, as we move into this time, the 40 days of prayer, I want you to know that I will be fasting and praying for you and your churches. One of the things that I plan on giving up is television. so that I can spend that time more focused on this district and praying for what God is doing. The Holy Spirit, I'm convinced more than ever that we're better together, but we're only better together with the Holy Spirit. And so, my friends, until next time, again, it is my deep privilege to be your pastor, to be your district superintendent. Can I pray with you all? Can I pray with you? Gracious God, for this district, for this work, for these men and women, for these children, thank you. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, amen.